beautiful people. We are back for another episode of the Not So Big Ben Show. I'm your host, Not So Big Ben, government named Ben Sladek. Cheers to Coors Banquet. Once again, you still haven't fucking sponsored me, but I'm going to still drink the shit out of your beer because it's the best goddamn beer on this earth. And we switched from the chub back to the tall boys, the 16 ounces. So, Pro's not here once again, though. Still kicking the little kid's ass like I know he is. But we got Poe in the back.
Yo, let's do it.
Man, and we had some more football this past weekend and whatever, but I'm so glad. Before we continue to go into that, continue to like, continue to comment, continue to subscribe. I love all the engagement. I love the shit talk. You know, I love being called a hater, even though everything I say is a fact. But you guys label me whatever you want. I mean, it continues the engagement, and I love it. And it's better than a 9-to-5 job. And you know, speaking of 9-to-5, got to pay a quick tribute to Dolly Parton, one of the queen of country music. Such sad news. Literally probably 2 hours before we shot this show, we're shooting her as currently right now. It was announced that she had passed away at the 80 years old, I believe. So very unfortunate, and did a lot of good in this world, you know, lived a great life. And it's just sad. But you know, getting to 80 is pretty impressive. But T's and P's to her family and friends and those affected by this. Unfortunately, never got to meet her, but you made an impact on plenty of people, and you did good, sweetheart. So rest in peace, Queen.
Legend, dude. Total legend.
Absolutely. And another thing that might be dead is my hopes for the Steelers this year. I don't know if that was a terrible transition or not.
No, pretty good.
Yeah, you know. Not great at all to watch against the Jets this past Friday night. It was watched Geno Smith go down 7 for 7, 65 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely carve our. I don't know if that was there was a lot of first team guys out there, which doesn't give me a lot of confidence. But yeah, you know, I don't blame that game one bit on Drew Aller. I actually thought he was throwing some fucking dimes out there, and a lot of guys were dropping the ball, were perfect passes, and quite frankly, I would want him over. And I liked Will Howard a lot coming out of college, but I think Drew Aller's got to get the chance to start over Will Howard at this point, especially after this past week.
Yeah, man, he's flashed on tape.
Yeah.
He definitely is flashed on tape. Like, it seems like Aaron Rodgers likes him. It's already been his last year, so he's got a year to learn from the legend, and then, you know, in a perfect world, Mike McCarthy doesn't have to draft a successor. He's really made some big time throws.
Absolutely, and the only concern I have as a Virginia Tech fan is like, oh, he escaped James Franklin or whatever. Penn State held him back, and now James Franklin's coaching my Virginia Tech Hokies. I'm like, well, that's fucking great. But we've seen guys like Trace McSorley and Sean Clifford thrive in that offense. But again, it's like if you don't fit that offense, like you're not good. You're probably shouldn't be playing there. I mean, it has worked, but I don't know. He was also one game away from a national championship, and people don't bring that up at all. So like, fuck off. But I don't know, man. I was really impressed with Drew Aller once again. And I like Will Howard a lot, but got to be fair because I'm a fair person. I'm not biased. I'm not a hater. He threw 2 very bad interceptions to the Jets, who don't intercept passes. Like, literally did not intercept a single pass last year. Yeah. And now they're getting picks. And, you know, I think one of them was not on Will. It was Roman Wilson being a fucking lazy route runner. And this is his 3rd year, and I have seen zero progress. I mean, I've heard great things from camp. I've seen zero progression, though, during games, and didn't really see much last year. And I definitely would rather have Jeremy Bernard start over Roman at this point when it comes to number 3 receiver. And, I mean, I don't know. I've seen enough from Roman Wilson. I don't think he can have a roster spot. I mean, he could, but I don't want him as a starter on my team, and I definitely do not want Broderick Jones starting for us. You know, it's funny, 2 years ago, we've traded in front of the Jets to get Broderick Jones, and David Bailey and every other Jets defensive player that went against Broderick Jones, just had a field day. And yeah, he's definitely in the bust territory at this point. But
I think a sneaky loss for you guys is going to be Gainwell, who's now with them boys over here. But
okay, you just wanted to say that.
I did. No, but seriously, like he really did. All jokes aside, he really did pop during the games last year. So
he's your MVP last year.
Yeah, I think he was. So how to kind of make up for that production, we'll see.
Dowdle.
And that's what I was getting to. I still think, even biasly, Rico Dowdle has been good the last couple of years, like great. Even
2 back-to-back 200-yard rush, or like I don't know if it was 200-yard rusher performances. He definitely had over 200 yards from scrimmage in 2 straight games. One of them against Dallas last year in a revenge game, and one against Miami. But I think Jalen Warren and him is a good duo.
Yeah.
And whoever else is behind him, but I don't know. I keep telling myself it's preseason, but we couldn't score a point against the Jets.
Yeah, I know. Preseason, though, preseason, you got to take it with a grain of salt, man. Sure. It doesn't really mean anything for the year, but I don't know. I'm still high, and I'm still high on you guys. We're gonna do an over/under special next show, and I really want to see what that Steeler number is at, because I'm glancing at the over.
I am too, but we'll see. Who will have at corners? Because I know Joey Porter they're at contract stalls right now. And I like him a lot as a player. I think he's tough. He's handsy. He's what you want in a corner, which the Steelers haven't had in a while. But, Witherspoon got paid, and he wants to be more. He wants more money than Witherspoon, and I don't love you that much. You get a lot of penalties.
No shot, dude.
Yeah, you're not a top 5 corner. He's not a top 5 corner.
No, dude. No shot he can be asking for. And I don't hate him as a player, but he ain't Witherspoon.
Hell no.
No chance.
Hell no.
No chance.
You're you can't be in the same sentence as Gonzo, Surtain, or Witherspoon. And I mean, and it's also a new regime. These guys, they haven't seen you play. They haven't seen you play in their system. I hate when players try to get sit out for a contract, especially in a new regime, because it's these guys don't owe you shit. If this is Tomlin and them, they probably would have gotten a contract by now. But they don't know you yet. You haven't played in Patrick Graham's system, and and Asante Samuel's looked pretty good. Overall, Asante Samuel Jr., excuse me, has looked pretty good overall when he's played, and I like Jamel Dean too.
Let's chat about that, because I was about to chat about that with you. Literally, you took that off the tip of my tongue, but I can't wait for you to experience the Dean experience, because here's how it's gonna go. The first 4 weeks, you're gonna be like, oh my God, we signed an all-pro. Week 5, he's going to completely blow a coverage, and they're going to have an easy touchdown. It's going to spiral. And then week 6 to about 14, you're not going to see him because he's going to be injured. And then he's going to end the season just well enough for you to have hope for next year. And then you can just rinse and repeat that for as many years as you guys want to sign him. You'll get 6 really good weeks from him.
Well, I don't know how many years we got. I think it was a 3-year deal.
I thought I saw it was 3, but don't quote me on that.
Again, he's escaped the Todd Bowles system, so we'll see. And, although John Gruden was quoted saying, I'd rather get a tooth drilled than play Todd Bowles on a short week, which I don't know if he really meant that or not, but
he's a good defensive coordinator. I have no problem. He can run a defense. His schemes they're talked about throughout the league. My only problem is it was 3rd and 27 last year. They gave up a 20-yard pass, and I don't have to review the last game. I just don't think he can handle the head coach, man. I don't think he has the personality for it, the drive for it, but he can scheme them up with the best of them.
I mean, he definitely has a much better track record than he did with the Jets, but I forget this is his 3rd head coaching opportunity. Well, 2nd and a half. He was nobody remembers he was a head coach for half the year in Miami when Tony Sperano got fired.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
But yeah. So who knows? But and also in news in the AFC North, the quarterback competition has been declared. If it was even a competition to begin with, who knows? Deshaun Watson beat out Shador Dash Sanders. And speaking of which, I thought I heard a knock. I don't know if my triple burger was delivered or not. There's Shador. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Shador Dash, dude.
No, in all seriousness, though, I'm not even trying to sound like a Shador stan or whatever you want to call it right now. After that Deshaun Watson press conference after the game, I would have named anybody but him my starting quarterback. That was a disaster.
Yeah.
I don't know how you call out the fans like that, saying, oh, it's not performance-based. The years you've been there, you've been garbage. You've been stealing money. You performed the heist of the century. They've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run them up, or whatever Stephen A. said. But
Has he had 3 good games in a Cleveland Browns uniform?
like in a row, or just in
In
general?
general, he's probably had 3 or 4 decent games
Yeah.
out of like, without looking at it, 26-ish, something like that, maybe more. I don't know.
Right.
But dude, they paid him too much money, obviously, and to go out there and suck and then blame the fans, like, bro, everyone already hates you anyway. You got to have some self-awareness.
Yeah, and he offered an apology after he won the job, which it felt like it was declared that he had won that. Like, I don't know. I don't think Todd Monken's a guy. He doesn't seem like a guy that is just going to, like, listen to ownership or general manager, like, hey, this is what you're going to do. Like, I think he wants to put the best guys out on the field based on things I've heard. But, and to be honest, like, it was a close competition. Like, I mean, the most recent preseason game, Shador definitely played better than Deshaun Watson. But in the first game, it wasn't the case. But, like, if you wanted to run away with it, you had to play just as good as you did in this game compared to the first one. And you threw an interception in the second game too, Shador did. And now, guy could have caught the ball, but it was still a little bit behind him. And my thing with Shador too, I was also watching him. I'm like, this isn't the Bills starting defense, is it? Because they were getting zero pressure that whole game. And I mean, and Shador, like, he's still holding on to the ball too long. Like,
Yeah.
this process, like, it's got to be 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. I don't think in any single one of his passes he threw in that game, he took less than 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I look at it like this, right? You take the name Watson and Sanders out of it. The QB battle was a 5th-round quarterback going into his second year who didn't exactly crush it last year.
No.
I mean,
According to some people, he did, though. But
no, anyone who watched the games and know what they're talking about, he didn't. I hate to break it to you, he did not do well last year. Argue with your mama. I don't care. So you have that 5th-round QB who didn't really pop last year versus a quarterback who is the highest paid in NFL history and a long time ago, but at some point was an undeniable top 10 quarterback. That battle was over in March, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, which it feels weird because Jimmy Haslam in the year before said, hey, we took a swing and a miss with Deshaun Watson. And then like a year later, you're naming him your starting core. It's a clown show over there, dude.
Swing and a miss. That's like a swing and a miss and like you freaking go paralyzed because you hurt your spine. You swung so hard.
Yeah.
But not great.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they traded Myles Garrett away in the offseason and, got Jared Verse in return, but their starting defensive end, Alex Wright, just ruptured his Achilles. So your pass rush is depleted even more. And, I think they signed Derek Barnett as reassurance, but I would say, like, people are like, the Cleveland Browns fans deserve better. I would disagree, but, that I'm admittedly biased on for good reason.
The dog pound, dude.
God, fuck that puppy pound. But they played the Bills, though, and, yeah, I mean, the Bills are the Bills. Like, you just expect what you expect. Unfortunate news, though, for Ed Oliver. Very sad to hear about his 2-year-old. I cannot imagine. But the reason that I would not even be bringing this up, but I don't know if you heard the backstory of this. Some dirtbag had like put a pic of him looking distraught on Twitter. And, the Bills were like, hey, it's injury related. That's why he's not here. Because they're not ready to announce it because he's not ready to announce it. I mean, and that's a personal family decision, but some dirtbag had to be like, oh, look at me. I got the news. I'm going to report it. And this is what like Aaron Rodgers' rant was months ago on the McAfee show. Like, I know everybody talked about the Fauci, COVID, whatever, but it was like, you guys care so much about reporting on players' tragedies and whatever, but whenever it's you guys, you ain't got shit to say. And I know it wasn't like a reporter for like it was just some like guy who lives in his mom's basement and jerks off that had to put that out and get his 15 minutes of fame or whatever. And it's ugly, man. I mean, like they deserve better than that, and it's so sad to hear.
Yeah, man, as a reporter, like you got to let the family break that. You got to sit on that like all right, so you could, you get a couple clicks online, but something like that, man, something so personal. It's not an injury, it's not an on the field incident. It's not someone getting out of trouble. It's an absolute tragedy. Like you got to let the family break that when they want, man. It's really sad to see. And yeah, man, Big J's, what are you going to do?
As a big J myself, I mean, I would never, ever do something like that. I mean, it doesn't feel right, I mean,
agreed.
So, but prayers to him, man, and to that entire team, and whenever you're ready to get back out there, you're ready to get back out there. Ain't no rush. So, but. Obviously, more ball going around right now. The Atlanta Falcons, speaking of tragedies, it feels like every clip they put out there of Tua trying to play quarterback has looked very tragic. And there's just nothing positive. I mean, they signed Zadarius Smith because all their defensive ends are getting hurt. But although Jack Strand, undrafted...
He's been the only bright spot in their camp or whatever. He was a D3 quarterback, wasn't he?
I never heard.
He was D2 or D3. You guys can grill me in the comments for not knowing that if you want, but it's fine. Dude, I said a couple weeks ago I think the Falcons could be the worst team in the NFL. I know the Dolphins are gonna jockey for that title with them, but I mean they look bad, bro.
They look terrible, and. Yeah, it's just like you're already writing them off in August, so who knows what they're gonna do? But
Matt Ryan's still the best quarterback in that building.
Absolutely, but I also said the same thing. I remember watching Max Brosmer play for the Vikings in the preseason, and I was like, he should start over J.J. McCarthy, and then he actually got it, and I was like, okay, all right, never mind. He just showed he can make a team, so good for him. But
yeah.
Teams that went to the Super Bowl last year in like the New England Patriots, it seems like they all have a target on their back. I mean, I've been hearing reports of them in training camp, like they're doing joint practices with the Colts and the Eagles, the two teams they played, and it sounds like they've gotten beat up badly. I mean, I watched Quinyon Mitchell lock down A.J. Brown. I don't know if you saw the NFL post like Brothers Forever of A.J. Brown like shaking those guys' hands. They did not look like they fucked with him at all. I don't know.
Didn't look like it.
It just looked like it was like, hey, this is for Instagram. Like Sirianni, like that was just like a quick brush off. I saw he had an interaction with Jalen Hurts, which looked kind of wholesome. I don't know. But Quinyon Mitchell, though, locked him down in training camp. And then what else? I mean, you guys did sign Greg Van Roten because your offensive line stinks and you need more depth. You signed Dearness Johnson because your depth behind after Ramondre and Travion Henderson is just not there at all. But and Mike Vrabel, I think even in the post-game press conference was like, when they asked him why they're not playing starters, he said, not a deep enough team. Or I think that's what he said. But it's making you wonder, can they go on another run? Can they not? And I think they just traded away Kayshon Boutte to the Texans. Yeah. To the guy who like 2 years in a row scored touchdowns on Derek Stingley.
Boutte was decent last year. I thought maybe even bordering
He wasn't
above.
Boutte.
He wasn't Boutte. I think he was trending to be, a contributor. So, you got to trust them, I suppose. But I think I'm fading the Patriots, man. Harder schedule, a little bit of
Like maybe
Drake Maye coming back to earth a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, I think I could name 20 better than Drake Maye right now, but that's another conversation.
oh no, 20? You can name 20 quarterbacks better than Drake Maye.
Absolutely. Maybe 15 at best.
We might have to work that out one time. I don't know if I can get there. I think he's undeniably top 12, but that's my list. So we'll have to redo a quarterbacks list here before the season starts.
I know we're gonna blue ball you because we're not gonna name those guys right now. So sorry, but when he played against competition, he looked like a bum.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's beside the point. He could still be very good, but the Eagles played them though this past week, and and Dontavion Wicks. I mean, every New England Patriot cornerback besides Christian Gonzalez stinks. From those one-on-one clips, at least, like game time, game film, whatever. Like one-on-ones, like they don't mean that much, but like they were getting routed up badly, and I didn't realize Dontavion Wicks was a route runner like that, and I was surprised that Philadelphia gave up a good package to get him too. I mean, gave him $12 million just to get there to trade for him, but now they have their biggest question right now is who's the backup, Tanner McKee or Andy Dalton. And I watched that game, and I thought Tanner McKee's better than Andy Dalton. And quite frankly, I watched Andy Dalton play in one game for Carolina last year, and I'm thinking to myself, he looked like a rookie out there. And I think it's time for Andy Dalton to hang up the cleats at this point.
Man, he's got to be like 38, 39, doesn't he? And they're pretty high on Tanner McKee in the building. I imagine that he would get the backup job. McKee would, but
Absolutely.
You never know, I guess.
Absolutely. He should. He was the backup last year, and he got in, didn't look great against the bad Washington team, but he pushed out Kenny Pickett, which isn't saying much, but but I don't know. I'd rather have McKee than Andy Dalton. Now it's the battle of mid. Don't get me wrong, but you want a reliable backup, and you see these guys get hurt early on, and it means something. So, and another guy for Philadelphia that's looking good and should earn a roster spot. They're very deep the defensive line, but Ty Robinson, who I think was a day 3 pick for them years ago out of Nebraska, dude, he was fucking balling, man, and I'll tell you right now, I think Saquon's gonna have another 2,000-yard season or close to it after watching their run game scheme. It was way better than what Patullo had drawn up last year, because you saw Carson Steele was running wild now against like not very good guys who probably won't make the team, but it was definitely a lot less predictable. But we'll see though. Like it's preseason, I know, but I don't know.
Man, isn't it so great that we get to talk about this though?
Absolutely,
I freaking love football season, man.
Yeah, like
freaking love it.
Absolutely. And now certain guys love doing other things other than football season, even owners of other teams. 49ers owner Jed York is the newest Gooner of the year. I don't even know if that's the right term or not, but Robert Kraft's probably looking at him like, oh, I knew I liked that guy. But a trailer park out of all places.
The funniest part about that story to me, first of all, I would never do it, so I want to be clear about that. But if I were to do it, and I had York money, which is, I assume, in the billions, maybe upper 900 millions, is loaded. I'll tell you one thing, bro. I wouldn't go to a trailer park with a couple $100 in my pocket to make that happen, you know?
Fuck no. You'd probably get mugged.
Dude, and the funniest detail about that story was, he brought, it was like a sting operation, whatever, and they agreed upon the price of $140, and he brought $160, which I presume to tip. So I don't know. I just find it funny. You're worth hundreds of millions, and you're going to pay $160 for some strange, dude. I don't know about that.
I mean, not that means much for those people. I mean, those owners are like the most rotten to the core type of people. You gotta like do like stuff. I'm convinced you have to like sell your soul to like own a team.
Honestly, and it's like at that level too. Like Wouldn't you pay, again, not condoning it, wouldn't do it, but if you were, wouldn't you pay like 20 grand for some like a high class escort
Absolutely.
that is not in a trailer park? I don't know.
I just
Crazy.
I saw the headline. He was arrested in East Palestine. I'm thinking like, what the fuck's he doing in Palestine? I was like, oh,
I thought he was Jewish.
yeah, right, exactly. But that'd be kind of crazy. He's like, he's trying to cross over to a Muslim. I don't. Is he actually Jewish?
I think he is Jewish. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Half the NFL owners are Jewish, bro.
That is true. So is half of Hollywood. But good news for the 49ers though. George Kittle looking clear for week 1.
Bro, since when did an Achilles injury become a 6-month injury, 7th-month injury? That's insane.
Crazy. It's like nothing now. I mean, like 9 months technically because it was in January, but
I mean, that to get back into football playing, man, I have had that injury. Again, I don't have the resources NFL teams do, but mine never felt normal again, let alone playing an NFL game.
Absolutely.
9 months later. And dude, I think my GOAT is going out on a sad note, man. Mike Evans hurt in camp, frustrated. It almost looks like that time for him.
But I'll tell you though, they might have drafted his Dazon Stribling is looking like a fucking dog.
And they got grilled for that pick, which
Dude,
like
I remember because I thought he was like a late day 2 pick or late second round pick, but I was like, because in the 49ers have not drafted well recently over the years, but him and the running back out of Indiana, because when they drafted Kalen Black in the 3rd round, I was like, these guys are drunk. He's easily the second best, like right behind McCaffrey right now on that team.
yeah.
And
McCaffrey's more than likely not going to play every regular season game. He'll probably pick up a nick here or there.
yeah, pick him up on the waiver wire while you can. But and then Mac Jones continuing to show out, and wonder if a team goes out and trades for him, especially because the NFL's rumoring for a team to be in London or somewhere out of the country. And I'm still going to watch, but I'm going to fucking hate it if that happens.
Yeah, bro. It's in the next 5 years, it is going to happen. Because, like, how much bigger could the NFL be in America realistically? It's already, like, the number one TV. It's got, like, the 20 most watched episodes of TV. Like, for them to grow, I think they have to go international. At least that's what the owners are thinking, I'm sure.
For sure, but who knows? And a guy who's been international, and Deion Jones, got traded to the 49ers, who are looking for linebacker depth. Literally just signed with the Saints weeks ago, and I guess they said, no, see you later, go to San Francisco, which reunited with defensive guru Raheem Morris.
Bum. I hate Raheem Morris, too.
Hey, he did get the best of y'all when he was in Atlanta.
No, Kirk Cousins got the best of us because he turned into freaking Peyton Manning every time he played us.
That is true, but all because of defensive guru Raheem Morris.
I think like 3 out of like 5 of Kirk Cousins' best games came against us, statistically speaking.
When he was in Atlanta, absolutely.
Correct, yep.
But
Sickening.
That does stink. But the 49ers of that night did beat up on their former head coach, Jim Harbaugh. Watched him absolutely just, but they play in the regular season, so he'll get his chance at revenge, and he probably cares more about that one realistically. But I watched him go on Pat McAfee's show, and he looked devastated after they lost their center, Tyler Biadasz, for the year. Very unfortunate for them because I know he loves his offensive lineman, and I think he's fortunate to have drafted Jake Slaughter, the center out of Florida, in the 2nd or 3rd round. It was a day 2 pick, I know that. But do they have a question mark at backup for quarterback? Because Trey Lance has not been looking good in the preseason, and I thought he was going to have a revenge game against the 49ers. He did not. But
I just, something in me, I've always felt this. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade like a late round pick for JJ. Little Harbaugh reunion, try to grow him back up.
You don't think that'd be a little awkward though with him being there?
I don't think so. Just because Herbert is so established, as you know, people can argue.
JJ just knows that he's going to be the backup if he goes there.
I mean, where is he getting? He ain't getting a starting job anywhere. Nowhere.
I don't think after watching him play in the preseason, I don't think anybody should give up any capital for him.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I mean, he might even be a cut candidate, but if he is on a new team, I got the Chargers. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to circle them, but
Right.
I got them as like a potential destination if he goes.
We'll see though. But in other news, in the AFC North, or not North, God damn it, fuck. Copy that out. AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs are in that division, and Eric Bieniemy's wife is on track to make a speedy recovery. So, fuck yeah, let's go. Happy to hear that. Sorry that had to happen, but I'm just glad she's okay. Very fortunate to be okay. But the feminist of the year, Harrison Butker, and I know this guy had a first class seat to watch it, and you had to admit it was pretty cool to watch him make a 69-yarder.
It was a bomb. No hate from me. It was a bomb, dude.
And he missed an extra point in that game too, didn't he?
Yeah, and so if we have, Brandon Aubrey could kick those. Like we have a handful of kickers that can make a 70. What's his name?
Cam Little.
I would say Little for the Jags.
He's got the record right now.
I don't like the kickoff rules because if you start at the 35 and get one first down, you are in field goal range. Practically.
Well, and admittedly, they're trying to like get people to not do touchbacks, and it's not working because these guys just have too big of fucking legs at this point, and which I don't understand why. Like, there's no like real returner out there that's scared. There's no Devin Hester in today's game or anything like that, or Deion Sanders for that matter. But that's beside the point, though. But they played the Bucs that day, and. Baker Mayfield wants his $50 million. Didn't really put anything on tape in that game to show you why he's worth that money, but
he wants more than that too.
Yeah. But Jalen Daniels, though, now obviously it's going to be Baker as the starter. Can Jalen Daniels at least be the backup? Because Jake Browning's your backup right now, but who cares about that guy?
Send Jake Browning back to Cincy or wherever he came from. Like we know who that is, right?
Yeah.
You make Jalen Daniels the backup because he was popping, dude. He popped off the screen.
Absolutely. And Gruden was feeling nicey on the broadcast, just watching that. But
Gruden's so good on the mic.
Absolutely.
By the way.
Absolutely. And who's your third string is like Connor Bazelak, bum. Like, who cares?
Yeah, we drafted him 2 years ago, maybe. No one's popped like Daniels since I've watched preseason games, which is like a handful of years. He's got to be the number 2, and you never know, man.
Hey, Baker.
Hey, I will say though, Baker said he was hurt all of last year. I'll believe him. I mean, so is probably every NFL player, but he plays best with his back against the wall. That's what I want to see.
It gotta be crazy if a Kansas quarterback of all people took his job because when he did that thing to Kansas years ago.
Full circle.
I mean, like 8 years later and all, but or 10, whatever it was. But we mentioned the Raiders earlier on. Fernando Mendoza, little bit of the yips, little bit of the rookie yips. I don't know if it's much to worry about. Little threw a pick six, kind of threw the ball a little late, but a guy who never says die, Aiden O'Connell. This has been sticking around. They've been trying to replace him for years and years. Led a crazy comeback drive, and he took out Gardner Minshew. He took out Geno Smith. Now he's got to take out Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza. Can he continue to do it?
Backup QB has to be a good gig in the NFL, like Browning or Aiden O'Connell. Like, everyone knows what you are, so there's no pressure. You just come in for maybe a couple games during the year and kind of steer that ship, and then you make anywhere from $5 to $12 million a year. It gotta be a good gig, man.
For sure. And dude, I'll tell you, I know they had an injury scare with Ashton Genty just recently. The Raiders did. Yeah. Turns out it's all good, but who knows? But Mike Washington has been fucking popping for them, and everyone's comparing him to Darren McFadden just because both came out of Arkansas. But that's definitely a sneaky draft, like especially if Genty misses some time. I mean, but
They should give Gentry 20 carries a game. They should give Washington 12 carries a game, and they should throw it like 17. They could win some games with that formula.
That's the Kubiak way.
Yeah, it is.
That's the Kubiak way.
It really is.
And they have a kicker competition going on right now, and there's a legendary name, a guy. He's been stinking, but Tokyo Toe is a fucking phenomenal name.
That is a great name.
I don't know the kicker's actual name, and I think he's not. It sounds like he's not going to win the job, to my understanding. I know Daniel Carlson was their kicker last year. I think he just signed with the Saints, if I'm not mistaken. But kickers, they mean a lot. I mean, just go ask teams like the Green Bay Packers. Trey Smack has been. If he was the kicker for Green Bay in the wild card game last year, they'd probably beat the Bears. Definitely beat the Bears.
If Ravens had a different kicker, y'all would have been at home last year while they were going to the wild card.
Oh, I know they would have. I know we would have. But teams that are the biggest what if because of how good their defense is, like the Texans. And by the way, I'll tell you right now, Caden McDonald, sleeper for Rookie of the Year, especially on that defensive line. It's fucking scary. He could definitely start for them right now.
Well, he'll never get double teamed because they got to deal with everyone else on that line.
Daniil Hunter and who's the other guy?
Anderson.
Oh,
Jr.
Will Anderson. Jesus Christ. Probably the second best edge rusher besides Myles Garrett right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of juice on him to win Defensive Player of the Year for obvious reasons. They're going to be good again, man. Stingley is at the worst the second best corner in the NFL, in my opinion. If CJ Stroud can just not fuck it up, they're going to be fine.
He doesn't even have to be great.
No.
He doesn't have to.
Nope.
But I will say, and their option, I know they just traded for Boutte because I think it was Jaden Higgins just tore his ACL. Very unfortunate, too, because he was a very promising player. But now I think Xavier Hutchinson is their number 2. And
Tank Dell coming back? I mean, maybe.
I would love this because he was...
That was a nasty injury a couple years ago.
2 years in a row.
2 years.
And he didn't play at all last year. And you've seen what he can be.
Used to be Stroud's favorite target.
Dude, they were boys. They were going on podcast tours together.
Yep.
And that's when C.J. Stroud labeled himself as a top 5 quarterback. And ever since then, he's kind of been playing like a bottom 5. But
he has sucked ever since, I want to say...
Rookie year?
Well, no, it was like week 4 or 5 last year when he tried to like little brother Caleb Williams at the half at the 50-yard line.
Little brother and him.
Not really, but just basically like keep your head up, man, and get better, yada yada yada. Since that interaction, he has certified been ass. Certified.
But it was just like good advice. And I don't know.
Yeah, no hate, but it's literally from that point on, he has sucked.
Yeah, I mean, people think just any kind of constructive criticism is hate now, which pisses me off so much. Like, it's going like the Giants fans are the worst at that right now, and Ravens fans are killing Harbaugh because they traded Daniel Falele away after one bad preseason game, and they're like, you could never do that in Baltimore whenever he was not blocking a soul in sight, and he got traded to the Jags, and I guess Liam Cohen's going to fix him. I mean, Jags just lost, I think it was Patrick McCarry for the season potentially, but I guess Falele is the best you can think of as a replacement. I don't know. That guy sucked.
I hope the Jags win 0 games this year. 0. I don't want them to win 1 game.
They definitely are not going to win their division. I'll already bank on that right now.
They were trending. We'll see. We'll see how it is in this year. But, God, I hate the Jags.
Interstate rivalry. It's back. If only they could play every year. Tampa and Jacksonville.
I don't understand why all the Florida teams, like someone would have to explain that to me one day.
Division.
Right? Like it just makes so much sense to have all the Florida teams be in the division and then maybe get, I don't know, who would be closest. The Falcons maybe. Keep the Falcons. Throw Carolina somewhere else. I don't know how any of those
Florida,
work out.
Georgia line. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, seriously.
Who knows? But the Giants, though, Jameis Winston, former Tampa Bay boy, freaking he's a runner now? He's a track star? Rushing for touchdowns? Hey. Had a weird handshake with Cam Scattaboo, though. Very suspect.
That's like the least surprising thing you've said today. They had a weird interaction, I'm sure. I didn't see it, but I can imagine.
It was a weird handshake, and then Scattaboo was like twerking on his dong. And
Sounds
I think
about
that
right.
guy eats crayons before games. Camp Scattaboo does, but
He does.
I'll tell you though. I mean, and Calvin Austin actually just got carted off with a knee injury, and I wonder what Odell Voodoo's going on over there because he's trying to he's trying to earn his roster spot.
Yeah, and it wasn't trending. Like if you read between the lines on Harbaugh's press conferences, I don't think he was going to make the team, honestly. But you have a wide receiver go down and opens up a spot. You never know.
Harbaugh seems to love Odell though, like since Baltimore. I mean,
He's a Giants legend. Like him, love him, hate him, whatever. Like he is a legendary player for them. So there's some sentimental value there for sure.
I'll tell you though, Malachi Fields looks really good for them.
He does.
I've seen.
Yep.
I think played at UVA before Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely, my concern with him was he didn't seem like the fastest. But hey, 6'4" is 6'4", and if you can throw a contested ball at him.
We've talked about it, bro. Keenan Allen, I think you and I could beat in a race, but if you can get open, you can get open. Who cares?
Absolutely. But names that are getting tossed in the MVP race, and we had heavy debates about him last year. Bo Nix right now looked very good in his opening drive, and maybe is it going to be a different offense with Davis Webb calling the plays? Who the hell knows, man? But
I think me and Pro were more Bo Nix positive than you, if I remember correctly.
100%.
He's so, like, people's opinion, like, oh, top 8 quarterback, bottom 10 quarterback. He's all over the map. Again, man, their roster's so good. He's another guy where he would suck all game and then ball out in the fourth quarter. If he could just be average those first 3 quarters, they're going to be really good.
Well, that's my thing. Like last year, he was great in the fourth quarter, and you could say the same thing about guys like Caleb Williams. Like they came alive in the fourth quarter, but to call them a top 10 quarterback based off of one quarter is just, you want the ball in the hands of people like that, no doubt. But at the same time, as a fan, I'd like to sit back and come. And I never get to do that as a Steeler fan, sit back and comfortably watch them just put an ass beating on somebody. It's always heart attacks and whatever. But who knows, man? But I'll tell you, though, we got a new rapper. The Baltimore Ravens head coach, Jesse Minter, was rapping Eminem just recently before a game, and now people are like, would John Harbaugh ever do that? Are the vibes in Baltimore different? What's the over-under on the Ravens this year? Who knows? But
Yeah, and we'll talk about that next. I hate the Ravens, by the way. Yeah. I think Ravens fans are sneaky the worst fans in the NFL. I got a boy that's a Ravens fan, and I just want to I cannot stand the Ravens. And then my dad was a Steelers fan, still is growing up, so I obviously was just bred to hate them. Can't stand the Ravens, man. Cool, you can rap Eminem. I hope you lose every game.
Absolutely, but I meant to mention it earlier, but I'll mention sneaky comeback player of the year, or I guess he could be rookie since he's never played much. Marshawn Lloyd for the Green Bay Packers looks very good. Watch out for him. That was a real quick edit on that. I didn't want to say too much about that because we already talked about the Packers earlier on. But I'll tell you, though, the Ravens, though, Rashad Bateman, no one's talking about that at all. Got a charge and happened in June. I guess he got arrested and they knew about it, and sounds very Baltimore-esque. They're sweeping under the rug.
Very Baltimore-esque, man.
But, they played Minnesota, got to win, whatever. But I'll tell you, Jamar Chase got injured in practice today. I wonder if he's still recovering after Jalen Johnson in the joint practices just clamped his fucking shit.
Clamped him. That injury looked bad.
It did.
I think it's come out that it's not as bad as it looked, but when he landed, it definitely looked awkward as hell.
Absolutely, but yeah, T's and P's for recovery. Just hopefully it'll be after you play the Steelers twice, particularly. But vibes are in between for the Super Bowl champions right now. Seattle Seahawks losing Jake Bobo for the year. Their second-round pick, Bud Clark, promising safety out of TCU. Looks like he's going to be done for the season. And I got to ask, is it time for Jalen Milroe to learn running back? it's not looking good.
It might be, man. He does not look great. And, like, you know, he had to come a long way from Alabama to, like, actually see the field and do stuff. But, like, I think in a perfect world, he would have looked kind of like Jalen Milroe to them a little bit, like big arm, big athlete playing QB. But I don't know, man. Doesn't look great.
Not great, but one guy that looks like a promising breakout for them, Elijah Arroyo, because, you know, A.J. Barner's their starting tight end right now, but Arroyo is a second-round pick for them and definitely has the athleticism and everything like that to be a true number one tight end.
Yeah, came from Miami, I think.
Yep.
And he had, like, one of the fastest 40 times for a tight end in history. Yeah, man. Is Seattle, like, the quietest sleeper repeat team? Like, I don't hear any, like, all the preseason, you hear about the Rams, you hear about the Chargers. Like, no one's talking about Seattle, and I think they're going to be pretty damn good.
I think that they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I agree.
They could finish 14-3 and finish in second place, which is so crazy.
It is.
And they played the Titans that day, and former Miami teammate of Arroyo, Cam Ward, once again, dude. I don't know if we should have some concern right now. I mean, this is his third offensive play caller, I think, at this point, and a lot of people are questioning if Brian Dable is even the right guy. And, you know, say what you want. Obviously, he had his time in New York, but I checked his resume the other day. He was bouncing around a lot as an offensive coordinator, and, like, he finally really hit with Josh Allen, and because other destinations they weren't anything spectacular.
And I touched upon it on another show, but if quarterbacks don't pop after year 3, the likelihood of them popping are, like, extremely low.
Yeah.
This
is year 2, to be fair.
Yeah. I should say at the start. I meant to say at the start of year 3. So he obviously has this year. But I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to be very good. He doesn't have a lot of talent around him, so.
Which we shouldn't expect them to be good. I mean, it's a new head coach, and their defense was getting routed up by Seattle's backups. I mean, Drew Lock was caught up in my bodyguard. Yeah, that's my favorite video of all time when he was rapping that song.
Yeah, Easy G.
But I'll tell you though, I mean, he doesn't have anybody to replace him in that room. Will Levis was just playing retard ball out there, just diving. And anytime he plays, I'm like, this guy's gonna get injured or something like that. Because
fantasy football punishment, put Scattaboo, put him in a room. He was another crown eater. I don't know, a third one, and just have like a big 2-hour lecture with those guys in the room. But yeah, Will Levis, man, I don't know, probably not gonna work out.
Who knows? But Anthony Hill, although the Titans defense isn't looking good, looks like a fucking steal for the Titans right now. And I'm surprised he slid to pick number 60. I thought that guy was a for sure late first round pick at best. But I don't know, man. But vibes are high for Dallas Cowboys right now, though, after watching them play this past Saturday. Joe Milton's looking like the true backup quarterback, and Jonathan Mingo and Camden Brown should make the team. Camden Brown absolutely should make the team. And Malik Davis should too. I don't know how he slid to fourth string running back. It's maybe because they have Jaden Blue, who they have really high hopes for. But, dude, the defense is looking – they have some young talent on that defense. LT Overton, Jayshon Barham. I love the direction they're going. And that one, I think it was a Native American who's – I don't know if he's going to make the team or not. He had did you see his speech post-game?
Didn't see it.
Look it up, man. That, like – because he's like, how far we've come, this star or whatever, and the team just rallied around. And obviously, he's talking for himself, how far he's came to just get to this point. And it just seems like a team that's just so bonded. And I don't know, Dallas, you guys might have something this year.
I've been high on Dallas since a few weeks ago when I really started looking at it. Caleb Downs coming in, hopefully orchestrate their defense a little bit. A lot to ask from a rookie, but, I would be, again, man, I'm looking at that Micah Parsons trade. It doesn't look as bad at this point right now in
Yeah.
August of 2026.
For sure, but who knows? And, I mean, all these guys that might not make the NFL team, hey, you can just go right back to fucking college football. I mean, let me be the biggest hypocrite in the room. My name is Lane Kiffin. The NIL and the transfer portal is getting out of control. Oh, but let me go grab this tight end who's not going to make the Cleveland Browns and bring him to LSU, even though I have Trey'Dez Green, who is a bona fide first-round pick. But that's neither here or there. I mean, I get it. Lane Kiffin's never won and never been a winner, so he's got to do whatever he's got to do to win. And by the way, don't try to give like 9-3, 10-2. Those aren't winning. That like in college football, you ain't been making the playoffs. And I know you made the playoffs, but then when you made the playoffs, you left, and now you go to LSU and you try to attack the reporter who called you a hoe. And then you left and we're acting like a hoe. So, I don't know, man. This guy's a fucking pussy. He's the biggest pussy to ever coach the game of football. Point blank period. Middle school, high school, college, NFL. Lane Kiffin is a fucking pussy. And I'll say that to his face too. Because it's like, what are you going to do to me? You ain't going to do shit. Like, your daddy ain't here to protect you, buddy. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And you're like, it just pisses me off so much. And shout out to the Big Ten, ACC that are saying like, we ain't gonna take no fucking pro. Like, once you put on that professional uniform, and he won the McAfee show today, and it's like, well, you know, these guys had been granted fifth years in the past or whatever, so it's kind of the same thing. They were not in NFL uniforms, buddy. Like you try to rat out your own quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, for getting another year eligibility. Trinidad Chambliss was never in an NFL uniform. It's not the same thing, dog.
It's obviously such a broken system, and I assume next year they'll fix that. But like, I have so many questions. Like, all right, obviously if you're an undrafted free agent, you don't make the team, I guess. But like, what if the Steelers drafted a 6th-round tight end that's going to get cut, and then he goes and has a decent year for like, you know, Mississippi State, and then goes to the draft again? Do the Steelers automatically have his rights? Does he just re-enter the draft? Like, there's just so many questions, so much just broken shit. College football is a total mess right now, man. It really is.
It stinks.
Yeah.
It absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be fun to watch. No. College sports in general. LSU right now, because they're getting fucking European League basketball players to go join their college basketball.
Yeah, their average age on their basketball teams, like, I think it's like 24, almost 25. Average age of your college basketball team is almost 25. That's insane.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say this. If you're going from the NFL to college, you better be a fucking dog, or I'm just going to think you're a bum.
A stud. You better be a stud, dude.
You better be a stud. You cannot afford to be and it sucks for these guys that work their fucking ass off to get like this, to just be on the team, earn a spot, and then it's like, hey, we're gonna have a guy from the NFL come back and he's gonna take your spot.
Yeah, think about the guy.
That.
Think about the guy from like the 17, 18-year-old from Louisiana high school that is the big hometown hero, and he just, you know, signed for LSU, and yeah, we're just going to bring in a 24-year-old ex-NFL player. It's a broken system, man. It's someone has got to go in and fix that shit.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch it still, but that's just because I got nothing else to do.
And I think that is the reason that they don't care, because everyone will continue to watch.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I'm part of the problem, so I'm terrible, but... quick shout out, forgot to mention earlier, Nick Chubb retired, and a lot of people blame the Steelers and Minkah Fitzpatrick for the hit on the knee or whatever. It's football. Suck it up, you fucking pussies. It happens. I mean, I don't think Minkah meant to really do that, but...
Nick Chubb is going to be one of those players in like 20 years where we'll be telling our kids about, be like, oh, dude, he was a stud.
Absolutely.
And then our kids are going to go look at the stats and look at the Pro Bowls and look at the All-Pros and be like, what are you talking about? No, he wasn't. Nick Chubb was a certified killer, bro.
Dude had a career-ending injury in college and was still a fucking stud in the pros. I mean...
There was a 2 or 3 year period where he was a top 3 running back in the NFL, like, undoubtedly, no question.
Absolutely.
Sucks.
It does, but hell of a career. Congrats, man. So, but there was some... news in the high school world per se. Did you see that 16-year-old girl tackle that one kid in the middle school game?
Nah, I missed that.
Perfect linebacker tackle form.
There you go.
So she's arrested though because it was a 12-year-old. So, but I'd have been like, nah, dude, I want that as my middle linebacker. But and then high school coach, you had to see this one. Yelled at his kid and he kicked the football and it went right into his nuts.
I missed that, but sorry, coach.
He got fired.
Did he? Did your coaches curse at you when
Absolutely.
you were? Me too.
Absolutely.
And
it was fine.
And it was like, it was just known they were doing it. And like, I'm not going to, maybe that was a good thing. Maybe that was a bad thing. I don't know. But like, this generation, man, like I got cursed out. I got chewed out, told to sit my F and A on the bench. Like,
yeah.
I thought that was just sports.
Grabbed by the face mask, call the pussy. Yeah. And then you just go in the locker room like, yeah, coach just called me a bitch. Like, it is what it is. It's fucking great.
Yeah. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, you were probably being a bitch, or I was probably being a bitch. Probably.
And they care about you. If they ain't talking to you, that's when it's bad.
Bingo, dude.
So, but in the fight world, man, you know, because we love to fight our coaches. 332, the co-main event announced. Big J is back. Valentina Shevchenko will be defending her flyweight title against Natalia Silva. There's not a main event announced for that yet, but it's taking place in Salt Lake City, Utah. Rafael dos Anjos is returning after a 2-year layoff to fight Alexander Hernandez, and Damian Pinas, who we talked about on the show, will be fighting Andrei Pulyaev. Yair Rodriguez pulled out of the Noche fight against John Silva. And now Jose Miguel Delgado will be taking on John Silva as a replacement. In some Apex bouts, we got Lupi Gudinez and Ketlin Souza. Yana Santos versus Luana Santos. No, they're not sisters. Karine Silva versus Gabriela Fernandez. And Andre Fili versus Kai Kamaka. Those fights really stood out to me a lot. And a fun fact, if there are any Chief Keef listeners in this room, UFC fighter Malcolm Wellmaker produces beats for Chief Keef in the past.
I freaking grew up on Chief Keef. I got about 12 hitters on my playlist to this day.
Bitches La Sosa. Oh, what the no way. Fuck it with them. Yeah, you know what that is. But Dean Thomas is making headlines once again after what he did with Jillian Robertson and kind of quitting coaching after the dreadful performance. And now he came out and said, yeah, I will be coaching Sean Brady in his next fight. Brother, I don't know how you do it, man. PR is a disaster for you right now, but I guess you're strong enough to handle it. He was a former fighter himself, but dude, we had some star-making performances at this most recent event in Sacramento. I'll tell you right now, who was it? It was headlined by RoboCop and Anthony Hernandez, but I'm going to rattle this off as fast as I can. Oh, actually, no, I'm not, because I forgot to mention the contract winners from this past Dana White Contender Series, which is going on right now as we speak. There's an episode, which I'm missing. So Roman Puga and Tanner Tremblay, watch that. That's one of the fights of the century. They both earned a contract no matter what the outcome was because it was that entertaining of a fight. Alec Lorenz earned a contract with a right hook to Muhammad Ali. Yes, there's another guy with that name. Christian Perez earned a comeback win over Logan Paxton. Trent Miller got a contract with a Von Flue choke after getting bloodied up in the first round. And then Kaik Brito landed an overright from hell to a guy named Namo Fazil, who was going to be on this series called When Trash Chucking Doesn't Age Well, because he was talking all the shit in the world and got face planted in that. You had to see that.
Let me ask you something as a UFC casual. All right, so like you say they like got a UFC contract. Obviously, if like I don't know, Baker Mayfield signed a 3-year, $60 million a year contract, like when they earn a contract, do they automatically get paid? Do they get put in the pool where then they can get matched up in fights and then get paid? Do you have any idea how that works?
I think it's like you're like guaranteed 4 fights. I don't know if it's like guaranteed pay or anything like that.
Okay.
Because God forbid, like shit, you could get like killed the next day or something like that. But,
sure. I just didn't know how how that contract worked in the UFC world.
Yeah. To be honest, I really don't either. Holy shit. Is that a gopher outside?
There's a gopher like maybe 20 feet behind me. Yeah, that was a gopher.
I was like, am I just drinking or something? Jesus.
I saw you look up, and I look over, and I was like, "Is that a cat?" And I was like, "That's the craziest looking cat I've ever."
I've never. Oh my god! Wow. All right. Got distracted, guys. Sorry. I'm gonna try to rattle off these Sacramento fights as fast as I can, so bear with me. Chanel Dyer is a fucking star in the making with a quick combination finish over Elise Reed. And I'll tell you, dude, she's like, we need more badasses in this weight class. Jiu-jitsu's boring in the fight, and the fans are cheering her on. I mean, she's absolutely whooped Elise Reed very quickly. Jackson McVeigh landed a beautiful knee to the body on Wes Schultz in one round, and it was a rematch from their amateur days. It's very rare to have a rematch when you fight a guy in the amateur rankings and fight him as a pro, especially in the UFC, which is kind of crazy, but funny how that works. But Stan Dorsonville with a hard-fought decision win over Gage Young. Easily won that 2-1, landed the bigger shots, rallied after getting beat up in the first round. And, yeah, man, he's a dog because he took that on 11 days' notice and won that fight, and he's still undefeated. And it's very promising for Stan Dorsonville going forward. And Marcio Barbosa has got fucking bricks for hands because he landed a left hook that just grazed Ryan Hughes on the temple and sat him down, and that was all she wrote. Chris Padilla, relatively dominated a not-so-fun fight, but choked the guy out, unconscious with a standing arm triangle choke, and the guy didn't tap, but he passed out and died on the shield. Not died, but you know what I mean. But Shamil Gaziev beat up Kennedy Zichugu, landed a straight right. Kennedy had his hands down the whole time. Very interesting strategy. And you don't keep your guard up, you get knocked out. And he got knocked out like a cartoon character. Jamal Emmers upset Larian Douglas, however you pronounce that. Landed a straight right and as a plus 300 underdog, which I told everybody Jamal was going to win. And he won. And Larian Douglas is a prospect we thought we all had, but he got chinned, and that was all she wrote. Anthony Wentz, who just won a contract the week before, former linebacker, had a round one arm triangle choke, was very patient, almost went to the end of the first round, but he choked the dude unconscious, and still undefeated, still promising, and something the heavyweight division needs. Carly Judice with a first-round teep kick to the body, and Jace Chavez just curled up like a ball. And Carly Judice, Crispy Carly as they call her, very promising and somebody to watch at 125 for the women's. And just something like, it's something that division needs very badly because she's very exciting. Markel Medeiros with a standing TKO, landed about 4 or 5 elbows, and Mason Jones is somewhat of a scouser. He's from Wales, but a little British, but didn't get knocked out. Well, he did get knocked out, actually. He got knocked out in the second round, but didn't go down, per se. He was still standing when the referee stopped the fight, but he was looking good, and then Medeiros was just the better fighter when it came to a fighter fight. And Rainier de Ritter had a successful 205-pound debut against Roman DeLeeds. Just absolutely toyed with him. I mean, there was no competition whatsoever, but RDR looks like a new man at light heavyweight. And Vitor Petrino is now a top 6 heavyweight after not having success at light heavyweight, moves up and got a win over Sergey Spivak, who was number 6 in the world, and just dominated him over 3 rounds and wasn't very eventful, but just everywhere he was better, even in the ground department where we thought Spivak had the advantage. But RoboCop, bro, we have a fucking new not number 1, easily a top 5 contender at middleweight. And I think I mentioned him as a champion on this show.
Yeah, I asked you to like kind of predict a future star, I think was the question, something like that. Yeah.
Hernandez attempted, and Fluffy Hernandez is still a dog, don't get me wrong, but he attempted 28 takedowns on RoboCop and only took him down 3 times. So insane to attempt that many takedowns, but RoboCop was the much better striker on the feet, and people didn't realize, because with his power, they thought like, oh, he's just a knockout merchant. Gregory Rodriguez is a world champion jiu-jitsu fighter. So even when he's not knocking you out, he ain't just going to take him down with ease. His shit, even if you do, he's going to submit you potentially. He's that fucking good, and he showed it. And he won that 4-1 on my card easily. But shout out to RoboCop Rodriguez. And what a night, and a much better card than UFC 330 in Philadelphia. But and real quickly, got to give a quick shout out to Chris Cyborg. Might have retired, but beat up Ketlin Vieira, who Ketlin questioned why the UFC cut her. And then she goes on to miss weight at 145 pounds by 7 pounds in the PFL. And yeah, you weren't making 135 either. So what weight are you making? But that might be it for Cyborg. But RAF happened. Merab got pinned by Henry Cejudo in 36 seconds. And now they're going to do a trilogy. But yeah, Henry finally beat Merab. It only took you 3 tries. He lost 1 in MMA and wrestling, but congrats to him. But and then Tyron Woodley, for the first time in 8 years, after releasing the track "I'll Beat Your Ass," hadn't won a fight since he made that track. Now he won an RAF match against Joaquin Buckley, who's not the best wrestler in the world, but he picked up a win, and it's good for Tyron Woodley. He was down 8-1. He came back and won 12-8. So. Good for Tyron Woodley, former welterweight champion of the world. Fucking awesome to see. But, and then Bo Nix lost. Very shocking to see. Jordan Burroughs destroyed Strawn Brady. Very expected. All-American wrestler. Beat up a MMA fighter. But, and then Rolly Romero beat, Teofimo Lopez. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. Beat Rolly Romero in a boxing match. And it was a fucking war. One of the most fun boxing matches I watched in a while. Aiden Ross had his brand risk thing going on, and Anderson Silva knocked out Kimbo Slice's son. Anderson Silva's son knocked out Kimbo Slice's son, on that card. Do you know that rapper YK Osiris?
Mm-hmm.
He fought.
Did he really?
On that card for 30 seconds. Beat up that Bob Menery guy.
Oh, yeah.
It was a joke, though. I mean, yeah. What?
Is that the same card that the little Newman basketball player fought on?
The guy who beat up the Love Island boy?
Julian Newman, I think his name was.
I have no idea.
Short guy, short Mexican, Spanish guy with the flowy hair.
I don't know, but okay. I do know that midget beat up one of the Island boys, and he actually knocked him out, which is crazy. But Austin McBroom had a brutal knockout though, and might have killed the guy. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get back out there." I'm like, "No, after that, you got to hang up the gloves, dude." But,
yeah.
And Henry Cejudo is gonna box Dean the Great shortly, but and Henry, you got to win this one. If you lose to Dean the Great, the MMA fan base will never forgive you. So pressure's on. I know we got to get out of here. So, but quickly in the WWE world, Ilya Dragunov was released by WWE. He didn't want to renew his contract, and I don't blame him because he's a star, and they didn't want to put him out there for whatever fucking reason, and it pisses me off so much. But meanwhile, Lil Yachty's gonna be Lil Yachty has a match coming up in the WWE.
I don't understand any of it really. I don't understand. So Lil Yachty will be fighting. I mean, I know it's not fighting, but I thought he was a manager.
He was. But now he's going to get a chance to actually wrestle. And it's right. We're going to give this. Hey, I'm interested to see how he does, truth be told.
To be fair, we're talking about it right now. So that's probably exactly why they're doing it.
And they would rather have that than Ilya Dragunov, who is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Main event something. Because he is a main event star 100%. And it's sad to see, but CM Punk and Kevin Owens delivered a classic. CM Punk won. Blake Monroe didn't make her debut. Attacked Julia, which is weird how WWE trademarked Julia when they have Julia on her roster. Is that a sign that they're going to cut her too? Who the fuck knows? But Shinsuke Nakamura got Kyoki from New Japan. And yeah, them Japanese boys are about to kill it in the WWE. But in we'll see. But to end the day, we're gonna talk about how the ZZ Top drummer, who unfortunately passed away as well, is performing a heck of a concert up in heaven with Dolly Parton right now.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. But why is every hospital recall or every what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone recalling every vegetable in the United States except for Mitch McConnell. Like, what are we doing?
I was like, what's your angle here? I saw a video of and like politics aside, I saw a video of Mitch McConnell out on the, I guess it would be the Senate floor, and he just did not move for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like just like 6 hours in a row. Bro, at the highest levels of the country, why do we not have some cognition test? Like, you're literally shaping our country and you're not even home. Both sides. This ain't a left or right thing. Both sides have people that should have been out years ago. But whatever.
Both sides should be with my guy, Enes Kanter. Killing it at the WNBA, baby. Let's fucking go.
People don't realize, he's like, oh, he's attention seeking. He's just doing it. He's trying to prove a point. And the point is, he needs the WNBA to tell him why he can't declare for the draft. That's all. That's all he needs, dude, and they can't do it. They can't do it. She is
so beautiful. She deserves a spot on a roster, you fucking bigots. What are we doing?
And also, people are calling Kanter a bum and a flop on Twitter, wherever. He averaged 11 points, 8 rebounds in the NBA for like 10 years. I'm not saying he's a star. That's not a bust.
No.
He's made $100 million plus.
Definitely was easy to score on from what I saw.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a paper mache out there. But,
but hey. He said Nikola Jokic was the easiest to score on, though. Who might leave the Nuggets based on things I'm hearing, but that's another conversation, though. But we got two things I want to end off on.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
EDP 445. I don't know if you know that guy or not.
Nope.
The fat Eagles fan who was like, "We're going to the Super Bowl."
Oh, okay. Yeah, vaguely. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So I guess he had like he got caught like trying to message a 13-year-old, one of those like catch a predator things. And now that case just got reopened. So enjoy jail, buddy. Yeah, fuck you. Although, yeah, you provided great memes for us, though, to be fair. So you served your time, and now you're serving real time. And now Carmelo Anthony is going to just spend the rest of his life in jail because, well, a good amount. I would think he wouldn't be alive in 35 years. And he belongs there. I don't know what the conversation is. He had originally had another chance at a trial, and then he didn't. And now, because, there was text leaked of him saying, I'm going to shoot up the school, I'm going to do... He's a fucking bad kid, and he belongs in the electric chair. He's a piece of shit. I don't understand how anybody can fucking support this guy.
Yeah, it totally doesn't make sense to me. I think people have gone so tribal and taken all their crazy pills, and sometimes you just gotta like look at the surroundings and be like, what the frick is going on, man? What is going on?
It's crazy because you got people supporting Lindsey Clancy. I don't know anything about that, but you want to go on your tangent right now? Go ahead.
Yeah, so we talked about this before the show, and like everyone knows the story. She has, postpartum depression, which is a real thing. I'm not making light of that. Millions of women go through it every year. Strangles her 3 kids. It was premeditated. She tells her husband, I want you to pick up all this at the grocery store. I want you to pick up all this at CVS, whatever. Came back. All kids have been strangled and like use like an exercise band to strangle them. And then obviously the husband finds it. And then the women online are just going crazy. Like basically, like the podcast, like the murder mystery podcast.
Yeah.
So they're trying to like spin this every single direction. And I'm reading comments like, oh my God, she would never do this. She's a Leo. She's a Aquarius.
Yeah.
She would never murder. Bro, I can't. She literally admitted to doing it, and she's raised $2 million. A mother that admitted to strangling 3 of her own children has raised $2 million on GoFundMe or whatever the hell. what are we doing as a country, bro? I can't even fathom how there's like women standing like at her, like, I guess, trial or whatever, like, we are with you, and like be like, I've gone through that like while holding their child, be like, I totally understand why you would do that. Crazy pills.
And baby's probably looking up like, huh?
Like someone saved that baby. They're still alive. Postpartum depression is very real, and I want to like stamp on that. But you know what? Those little voices in your head never tell them to do. They never tell them to go argue with they never tell them to go argue with the 6'5" man at the Kroger. They never say, hey, maybe go do the dishes or whatever. They're always like, kill your kids. And we're celebrating that. We raised $2 million on that. Everyone who donated a cent to that needs to be fucking extradited to pick
and
wherever.
These people have the nerve to complain about taxes or whatever, which is a real thing, but like, you also donated to that. But and now we're in a spot where we're potentially humans are becoming extinct because fertility rate is so low right now. And you're doing your part. You're having a kid.
Not in this household, baby.
It's so fucking crazy though, man.
I know, man.
Life's crazy, but I know we've shot way over the more I'm supposed to.
We're good, bro.
But that's because the show is awesome in this studio. It stinks in other households, but
that's right.
We're glad you could tune in for our wacky, tobacco type of show. I say that I'm only a beer drinker. I don't do no wacky tobacco in this household, but
this episode is brought to you by G-Leaf.
But we're so glad you guys could tune in once again. It's so awesome to talk football, and it's almost there, man. College football is this Saturday,
Woo.
week 1,
Woo.
or week 0 per se. But
yeah.
Final week of preseason, we got whatever's else out there, and we're almost at the end of the boring times of the summer. Like the summers, as a kid, was great. But as an adult, it sucks.
Little pat on the back for us. We've had a lot of good content for a very slow season of the sport.
Absolutely.
NFL's about to start, and we're gonna rock and roll all year, man.
And real quick, shout out to the people of Serbia. The great engagement on the Instagram page has been amazing.
Yeah.
And we'll have to go out there, man.
Yeah, maybe so. No fans, we'll go anywhere.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic. I want one of your horses. But. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Continue to like, continue to comment, continue to subscribe. Poe, you got anything?
No, sir. Great show, brother.
All right. Well, thank you once again, and good night, everybody.